Coca-Cola is more than just a drink. It's a global empire. But behind its feel-good marketing lies a history of addiction, deception, and controversy.
Coca-Cola drinks in the UK after the company pulled products in Europe over chemical concerns. The Coke manufacturer said testing had revealed elevated levels of chlorate.
At one point, its secret ingredient was cocaine. Today, it's something far worse, an artificial chemical linked to cancer. Let's talk about how Coca-Cola became the biggest soft drink empire in the world, and how its so-called healthy alternative, Diet Coke, might be doing more harm than good. Everyone knows and loves Coca-Cola. It's so big that it is the second most known word on the planet after okay. But how did it become so well known? Coca-Cola spends billions on advertising every year, but will never once try to sell you on their products. Coca-Cola's rise wasn't just about taste, it was about strategy. Asa Candler, the man behind Coke's success, didn't just sell a drink. He sold an idea. Happiness, togetherness, celebration. And he made sure you saw it everywhere, on billboards and movies, even in Santa Claus's hands at Christmas. But while Coke was painting the world red, darker accusations began to surface. Diseases, droughts, exploitation. And when the public started worrying about sugar, Coca-Cola had to adapt. That's when Diet Coke was born, but is it really the healthier choice? The drink was developed to replace Tab, another low-calorie cola that was released in 1963. Diet Coke became the best-selling low-calorie soft drink in the United States within a year of its release. But there's one thing that not many know. Diet Coke is sweetened with aspartame, aka NutraSweet. But this sweetener has been controversial for years, with studies linking it to potential health risks. Let's break it down. Here's the ingredient list for Diet Coke and whether they're good or bad. Aspartame, the most controversial ingredient. The concerns: linked to headaches, mood swings, and increased cravings. Alters gut bacteria, affecting digestion and metabolism. Who classified it as possibly carcinogenic in 2023? How it works in your body: breaks down into methanol, formaldehyde, a toxin. Can mess with your insulin response, making you crave even more sugar. So, is it safe? Regulators say yes, critics say no. You decide. Coca-Cola was born out of addiction. In the 1880s, the world was obsessed with cocaine-infused tonics. A wounded war veteran, John Pemberton, took inspiration from these medicinal drinks and created Coca-Cola. But before he could see its success, he sold the formula for just $2,300. That's when Asa Candler took over and turned Coca-Cola into a billion-dollar empire through aggressive marketing and secretive formulas that would change over time. One of those formulas? Diet Coke. And that's where the controversy begins. Candler began buying out any outstanding shares owned by other people so he could have the company fully under his control. By the 1890s, Asa Candler was fully in charge of Coca-Cola, but remember, the drink wasn't actually that popular at first, so Candler started filling the town with Coke-branded banners, billboards, and placards. They even painted the logo on barns and basically plastered the Coca-Cola logo on anything they could, so people started seeing the logo everywhere they went. But one of Coke's first strokes of marketing genius was to contact every pharmacy in the area, get a list of their top customers, and send them a free coupon for Coca-Cola. The logic was that by giving people a free trial, they'd become customers for life, especially since the drink contained several addictive chemicals. However, it soon became clear that advertising Coca-Cola as a medicine was the wrong strategy. Rather than just market to people who were ill, they could market it to everyone by simply positioning it as a tasty, relaxing drink that anyone could enjoy. This had the added benefit of disassociating Coca-Cola from the patent medicine industry, which would soon face a lot of scrutiny once people realized that most of their claims were complete lies. Coca-Cola's mass marketing strategy was a huge hit. As the sales started to grow rapidly, Candler reinvested more and more money into advertising, and even started paying movie stars and athletes to endorse the drink as that Coca-Cola. Yes, sir, so much of Coke's success has been about creating such a positive, wholesome image in people's minds of what the drink represents, and what better way to do that than pay popular celebrities to recommend the drink. They even started heavily featuring Santa Claus in their ads at Christmas, always holding a Coke to make the connection. In young kids' minds, between Coca-Cola and the joy of Christmas, of course, none of this marketing may sound particularly special, but at the time it was Coca-Cola pioneered many marketing strategies that soon became commonplace. For example, sex sells may be an advertising cliche these days, but very few mainstream companies exploited this as much as Coke did with their use of Coca-Cola. Girls, attractive women who always had a Coke in hand, even created a statistical department to analyze car traffic and movement in supermarkets so they could determine the most effective places to put their ads. And as new technology was introduced from radios to TV, Coke was always ready to throw money into advertising on these new mediums to ensure everyone everywhere knew about its products. Since then, Coca-Cola has become the biggest soft drink beverage in the world. But as society started to become health conscious, Coca-Cola had to come up with a new angle to get the new health-conscious population to continue buying. This is where Diet Coke comes into play. Diet Coke has been marketed as a zero-calorie drink that is healthy and allows people to enjoy their favorite drink without sugar. By the end of 1983, Diet Coke was the most successful diet beverage on the market. It was the fourth best-selling brand in the beverage category after Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and 7-Up. It peaked about a decade ago and was the world's #2 best-selling beverage, overtaking Pepsi, from 2011 to 2015. Tab was discontinued in 2020. This is where it gets complicated. Yes, Diet Coke has 0 calories, but the process in how they turned it into 0 calories is the most concerning point. The World Health Organization, aka WHO, has recently labeled aspartame a potential carcinogen. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty. Diet soda has caffeine, potassium, benzoate, caramel, phosphoric acid, aspartame, and is a harmful drink masquerading as healthy. If you have been buying Diet Coke or Coke Zero thinking you are not drinking sugar, too bad. Aspartame, a widely used artificial sweetener, has been controversial for decades. While regulatory agencies like the FDA and EFSA have deemed it safe for consumption within established limits, concerns persist. Here's why some argue that aspartame may be harmful. Aspartame breaks down into 3 main components: phenylalanine. Excessive amounts may affect neurotransmitter balance, especially in individuals with phenylketonuria, aka PKU. Aspartic acid. At high levels, it may overstimulate brain cells, contributing to neurotoxicity. Methanol converts into formaldehyde, a toxin in the body. Though the levels are low, critics worry about cumulative effects. Some people report that aspartame triggers headaches, migraines, or dizziness, possibly due to its effects on brain chemistry. Despite being marketed for weight loss, some studies suggest that artificial sweeteners, including aspartame, may disrupt metabolism, alter gut microbiota, and increase cravings for sugar, leading to overeating. Animal studies in the 1970s raised alarms about aspartame and cancer risks. Though large-scale human studies haven't confirmed this, the International Agency for Research on Cancer, YARC, recently classified aspartame as possibly carcinogenic to humans. This classification is based on limited evidence and remains debated. While aspartame is considered safe within the acceptable daily intake ADI of 50 milligram body weight in the US, skeptics argue that more research is needed, especially on its long-term effects at lower doses. If you're concerned, reducing artificial sweeteners and opting for natural alternatives like stevia or monk fruit might be a good step. The Diet Coke package also mentions, "Not recommended for children, pregnant, and lactating mothers." If Diet Coke is nutritious and healthy, then why is it not recommended for those for whom nutrition is a priority, such as children, pregnant, and lactating mothers? Coca-Cola linking itself with sport was a genius marketing move so it can be associated with not being too bad because it's everywhere in sports games. Coca-Cola is the Olympics' longest-serving partner, working together for 97 years. They even have a partnership deal with FIFA since 1976, helping to fund initiatives that help to fund football in low-income third-world nations. If you take young adults and kids and give them full cans of full-fat Coke and then change it to Diet Coke, there's no real difference in metabolic changes in their blood. The benefits of Diet Coke is that it does have 0 calories, keeps you full, and stops you from going to the dentist all the time, but due to the chemicals in Diet Coke, it means that in the study, the kids needed more sweetness in their food. Many people who drink Diet Coke often need late-night snacks to satisfy their cravings. The sweeteners in diet soda affect your gut microbe. Even the so-called healthier ones like stevia affect gut microbe. These sweeteners also affect your blood sugar. There is limited study on diet sodas, and they are a better alternative to full-fat soda, but they are in no way a healthy drink. So while Diet Coke might seem like the healthier choice, its ingredients tell a different story. So next time you grab a Diet Coke thinking it's the healthier choice, ask yourself, is swapping sugar for chemicals really worth it? Your gut, your metabolism, and maybe even your long-term health say otherwise. Speaking of health, there's one natural superfood that's fixing men's biggest problem without any chemicals. Don't miss our next video. Subscribe now.